Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. The US Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, may decide to take an initial decision on the Bitcoin exchange traded fund tomorrow, or rather that is today. According to reports, the Bitcoin ETF will start the new countdown of 45 days to be approved or rejected once again. The Van Eck, Solid X, and CBOE proposal will be formally published on the SEC register by then. The proposal was initially posted last year, but the companies decided to withdraw it during the government shutdown, which happened last month. Now, the refiled Bitcoin ETF, I guess you can kind of call it a BTF, Bitcoin ETF on the 13th of February. As soon as the filing is accepted, the timer will start and the SEC will have to decide once more about the awaited ETF. The Van Eck Solid X proposal will not be alone, though. A proposal made by Bitwise Investment Management. This is the one that we were talking about yesterday. If this sounds relatively familiar, it's because a couple days ago we also had news that the New York Stock Exchange ARCA had also filed their submission for a Bitcoin ETF. And I think a day or two later, this is once again why it sounds so familiar, the original CBOE Van Eck Solid X decided to resubmit theirs after they had pulled it out, which is very, very odd. The speculation now lies in the fact that they may have withdrawn their proposal because they were so close to having it, like the time frame was getting kind of close, and they maybe knew that they were going to be rejected. So therefore, they decided, instead of us being rejected, let's withdraw it ourselves and then resubmit it for another, 240 days or something like that. But this is the major news, because everyone assumed from the get-go that the Van Eck CBOE one would be the one that would be the first Bitcoin ETF to be actually accepted. My money still kind of lies on the New York Stock Exchange, but that's just kind of how I feel. The SEC now has 45 days, starting today, to decide whether it wants to postpone the decision or not. In case the ETF is rejected, once again, the company has to make lengthy changes in order to be able to apply again. Last year, the SEC waited for 45 days and then postponed the decision because they keep doing this over and over. Because of this, the timer, which would be finished soon, can actually take a lot more time to finally be over, and the SEC will be able to postpone the decision even further, which seems like the regulatory agency wants to do at this time. I don't think they're going to allow any of these. I need the market to stop caring about any type of ETF, anything. Like, these three letters have kept Bitcoin's price down. Bitcoin's price should at least be twice where it is right now. But for some reason, these three words haunt the cryptocurrency space. I don't think, I understand the idea and the prospect of having an exchange traded fund launch. Got it. I understand, because one ETF launches, then kind of, everyone else can kind of mimic their paperwork. And then we have an entire, the floodgates then open as to everyone being able to, have their own ETF. But there's too much concentration on this. I am going to say that they're probably both going to be rejected, especially if so what's going to be very interesting is that the New York Stock Exchange, the NYSE ARCA, their proposal is about 2 days before the CBOE one. If the New York Stock Exchange gets rejected, it's probably safe to assume that Van Eck and CBOE probably aren't going to have the red carpet rolled out for them in terms of Bitcoin ETFs. Anyway, this is the news because this is the one that everyone was gunning for or believed would be the first one. But now I'm going to assume that if anyone's going to get it first, it would be the New York Stock Exchange ARCA. It would be great if in about a couple hundred days, I know that seems like an eternity from now, if we did have the New York Stock Exchange one approved, and then 2 days later also had this one, that would change the course of the market as we know it. But yeah, let's move on. Next up, BitTorrent token, or the BTT. The newly launched coin has been performing well post the massive pump on the 18th of February. BitThumb took to Twitter and said that they were going to be listing BTT, or BitTorrent token, onto their platform. The exchange also announced that it would also provide support for the BTT airdrop. The recently launched token has been listed on many major exchanges, including Binance and Bitfinex. The token saw its launch on Binance Launchpad at the end of January and was followed by multiple adoption airdrops from the Tron token holders, since BTT is built on the Tron network. Apart from the listing BTT and conducting the airdrop, BitThumb will be distributing extra BTT tokens to users who deposit their BTT on the exchange. This is according to ChepiCap. Okay. The publication also informed the event will last until trading of the token goes live on the BitThumb platform. Where was I? Okay, anyway. Recently, BTT was also paired with multiple stablecoins on Binance. They are Pax Token, True USD, and USDC. And I think that happened a couple of days ago as well. A lot of people are giving a lot of hype to the token because it was listed on Binance, but I have a very strong feeling the people from Binance probably own an enormous amount of Tron and probably own an enormous amount of the BitTorrent token. This is maybe why they've been so friendly to it. Anyway, nice to hear that it has been. I mean, it's what we saw before in 2016 especially. But 2017 and the beginning of 2018, we had a really weird thing wherever we would have a brand new cryptocurrency, it just kind of, it would float around for months, not being added anywhere. But now I think because we have so many cryptocurrency exchanges, multiple coins get added to multiple different exchanges over the course of a week. It's very nice because if you do plan on using this coin, if you do plan on investing in it, as it were, it's nice to know that you just don't have to rely on one exchange to get your money out. You have at least 7 other exchanges where you can put your money into and take it out of, and it's kind of nice to know that something that you've invested in will have an enormous amount of liquidity attached to it, as opposed to once again just having it to rely like we used to on just one cryptocurrency exchange. Kind of nice. Next up, this one's actually pretty cool. The amount of money allocated to short bets against Bitcoin, pretty much betting against the price of Bitcoin, fell to a more than 6-month low during Tuesday's trading session. Data from the popular cryptocurrency trading platform Bitfinex revealed. And it kind of goes into, the actual numbers and all the other stuff. But the main point, and even though it may be a short article, the most important thing is that what we saw in 2018 was so many people were betting against the price of Bitcoin that we got into a situation where our markets were mimicking the actual futures markets, even the futures markets that had no physical, air quotes, Bitcoin, not actually dealing in Bitcoin itself, just them betting against the price of Bitcoin with fiat, saw the price of Bitcoin tumultuously slide down in price. But the amount of people who are now betting against it, that number significantly dropped because everyone is still believing that we're going to have that time frame. It's about now. I mean, we did, to be fair, we did have a pump in price. And also we are very close to March, which is also the time frame that everyone is thinking that things are going to do relatively well for the Bitcoin price. So it's nice to see that at least everyone else is kind of getting it together and no longer betting against the price of Bitcoin because there's no real reason to. I mean, I get why you would want to do it in order to be able to accumulate more should the price go a bit lower. But it's really funny because people, like I said, it's interesting to see that people bet against the prices of things, especially against the price of Bitcoin. And people thought that it was going to drop down to $1,200. I can only imagine how many people had buy orders at $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 and stuff like that. And then the price shot up to $3,900. And you kind of get squeezed out because your position that you had is no longer really relevant because, yeah, prices move up. Let's move on. Next up, Binance is in the news again. Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume, has rolled out public testing for a decentralized trading platform built on its own blockchain network. The company announced on Wednesday the new platform called Binance DEX is now up for public testing where users can create their own wallets and interact with the trading platform's interface. In addition, Binance revealed the blockchain explorer for the testnet of the proprietary public network called Binance Chain, which powers the DEX so that traders can participate as individual nodes and hold their own private keys to their crypto assets. While the launch of the testnet is a major step forward towards a final rollout of the decentralized exchange, Binance said it now needs to gather feedback from the community before it can reveal a timeline for the final launch. They said, with Binance DEX, we provide a different balance of security, freedom, and ease of use, where you take more responsibility and are in more control of personal assets. This was said by Binance's co-founder and CEO, His name is Changpeng Cao. So very exciting. We finally, I mean, it's not the official launch, but it's still the public testing launch. I am not certain if this is only for specific people. The way that it is written appears to be that everyone can have a slice of the pie. And if you wish to use the Binance DEX, I'm sure it's pretty easy to find on an actual search engine. Then give it a shot, see how you like it. Before in the past, I think I'm actually going to try out the test net website as it is, because I've dealt with a lot of other decentralized exchanges. Told everyone before, did not care for them. They were kind of trash. So I kind of want to see, first of all, the actual interface of the normal Binance is incredibly simple. It's so easy to use. It's very nice. It's not anything difficult. So I hope that they kind of match that with the decentralized exchange as well. I guess I'll try it out maybe one day, and I'll kind of maybe give my thoughts in one video of exactly how I feel about it, because I would like a future where decentralized exchanges hold a massive portion of the market. I don't expect, because, we are 8 billion people on this planet. And should we have a situation where we have 1 to 2, maybe 3 billion people on the planet using cryptocurrencies, I don't assume that a large number of people are going to be using decentralized exchanges because of the fear of holding your own private key and stuff like that. But I would like a world where more people who are into crypto actually hold their own private keys and do use decentralized exchanges. But yeah, I mean, the time frame for this has been absolutely nuts. Like, we had news about 3 weeks ago that they were thinking about planning on launching their testnet, and then out of nowhere they were like, yeah, we're going to launch it next week, and now we have it launched. Like, there's been no delays at all. This is why I hold Binance, I hold to like a very high standard, because like they're not that old. Like, I understand that most other cryptocurrency exchanges also aren't that old, but the things that they've done in such a short amount of time, other exchanges should be looking up to them and trying to mimic exactly what they're doing, because even their token, like Binance Coin, is also doing incredibly well. Like, everything that they've done, I don't know if they have like just the greatest public relation managers, or they know exactly how to market stuff, but they have been on the ball consistently, and this is why I like Binance. But yeah, let's move on. Next up, breezing over this one as well, it says, over the past 48 hours, crypto assets across the board have embarked on a jaw-dropping rally for the first time in months. It says weeks, but Bitcoin neared $4,000. I think it actually went over 4,000 last night. I think it hit like 4,050. As altcoins, namely EOS and Ethereum, rallied by double digits in terms of percentage. While this sudden run looked structurally similar to prior bear market rallies, I assume that bull market rallies, it quickly became something evident that something was different as crypto analysts' resources began to post staggering volumes. Yeah, everything. And it's not even about the amounts that went up. It's typically people look at the amount of volume that's flowing through a certain coin at one time. What we're seeing is that a lot of people, I don't know if it actually has it inside of this, a lot of people have been posting that they're seeing an enormous amount of similarities to the 2014, 2015 kind of push up in price, and also the 2017 push up in price, where it was, everything was relatively stagnant. And then for some reason, at one point, I don't know if anyone can really see this. Yeah, right here. At some point, we had imagine, you've all seen Jurassic Park, like the part where like a dinosaur is walking by and like you see like the cup of water kind of shaking. It's like that moment, like where something is happening, you don't really know what's going on, and then prices kind of immediately shoot up. This is what has been happening. A lot of people, like I said, once again, people have been seeing that there are similarities to what we had before a couple of years ago. And this is why a lot of people are starting to pay attention, because some of the volumes that we're seeing passing through these coins right now are just absolutely monstrous. And this is, once again, while prices are down, and we don't really have proper clarification if this is, well, we know that it's not really happening through a number of the new cryptocurrency exchanges who are launching or have already launched. Kind of interesting, but I mean, hopefully, not trying to get my hopes up, hopefully this is the beginning of something good, because it seems once again that public sentiment has shifted. We saw this in 2018, where it was like you could feel it in the air. People just did not care for crypto. Everyone knew that the prices were going down, even if we didn't want to believe so. And then 2019, you can kind of feel in the, there's energy floating around that everyone believes the exact same thing, and it seems to be this pre-enthusiasm that's kind of pushing the markets upward a bit. Kind of interesting. Next up, Elon Musk, the founder and CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, has officially gone public with his belief that cryptocurrencies offer an improved alternative to conventional money. In a podcast interview with investment firm ARK on the 19th, Musk talked about his views on the future of his company, and responded specifically to questions about his thoughts on cryptocurrency. To that end, Musk said he believes Bitcoin's structure is quite brilliant, adding, crypto, bypasses currency controls, paper money is going away, and crypto is a far better way to transfer value than a piece of paper, that's for sure. That said, Musk also pointed out aspects of the industry that are keeping his companies from getting involved in using and applying the technology. He said, speaking to the downsides of cryptocurrencies, in the case for Bitcoin, for instance, he said he believes its use of large computing network to secure its ledger is computationally energy intensive. He added, for a company that aims to boost the adoption of sustainable energy, it may not be a good use of Tesla's resources to get involved in crypto. We kind of have news. It kind of slipped, I think, whether it was on that article or whether it was from the actual New York Stock Exchange themselves. It appears that Tesla this is speculation, allegedly. No one knows this for certain. Like, no one has any proper information on this. I'm going on what we saw in the other article from the people that from the New York Stock Exchange had said that they said we have major companies who are looking to get into the space, who are looking to use our not technology, but looking to get into the backed thing. And they were like, yeah, Starbucks, Microsoft, and they noted Tesla. So Elon Musk has mentioned many times before that he is for a universal basic income. He is for a cashless society. He also is terrified that AI is going to take over the world, what have you. So it's not unbelievable that he would believe in Bitcoin or the actual future of Bitcoin or where the cryptocurrency is going, especially because, pay attention to this, I'm seeing a new narrative for Bitcoin floating around that it's not going to be the money of everything like a lot of people are thinking, that it's now going to be the currency of the internet, which I can totally believe would be a thing, because for a very long time that what we saw was people thinking that Bitcoin was going to be the only currency that we have in the entire world. While it is possible, while it is plausible, while Bitcoin is divisible, it makes a bit more sense that Bitcoin would be used solely for, or a large portion of transactions happening through the internet would be solely based on Bitcoin, or even us transferring, money through the internet, which also be the money of the internet. Anyway, the point is, I'm pretty sure he's a believer in this. I could see them accepting Bitcoin as a payment option, especially as we see the Lightning Network continue to expand. However, they may not be the first company to jump forward talking about that they're going to be mining Bitcoin, unless he has something in the wings where they're trying to develop some type of a, like a mining factory that just runs on sustainable energy, which would be kind of cool because we have a couple of those floating around. But the news is that Elon Musk has called Bitcoin brilliant because people have been trying to get him to use, or rather hold, the lightning torch that's running around on Twitter. I don't think he's going to do it. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy. Anyway, let's move on. So, and probably the weirdest news that you'll ever hear for the rest of your life. In a statement to the U.S. Commodities Futures Trading Commission, or the CFTC, Craig Wright, the creator of Bitcoin Cash, Satoshi's vision, once again maintained he was the inventor of the original Bitcoin. Craig Wright has made another attempt to convince the world he is Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. Wright is now ready to testify under oath that he created Bitcoin and mined the first blocks. In a statement to the U.S. Commodities Futures Trading Commission, he claims to have worked on Bitcoin's idea since 1997 under the name of something called Blacknet. He said, the amount of misunderstanding and fallacious information that has been propagated concerning Bitcoin and any derivative system based on a blockchain, such as and including Ethereum, has resulted in my choice to start to become more public. The system I created was designed in part to end fraud as best as can be done with any technology. Part of the problem is that he's come forward multiple times saying that he is Satoshi and that he's not Satoshi. So the fact that he says he's going to become more public, he's been doing this for about 5, 6, 7 years. He keeps popping up talking about that he's Satoshi. No, I was just joking, I'm not Satoshi. And then someone else pops up and says that they are Satoshi. Multiple people who worked on multiple people. who worked on Bitcoin before came forward and said that they were all Satoshi. Now we have people from the Bitcoin Cash side saying that they are Satoshi. I think Roger Ver said he was Satoshi. There's like a list online of at least like 16 people who came forward. And it's not even, what's interesting is that how you can tell that they're all lying. It's heavily believed that Bitcoin was created by a group of people, multiple people altogether. All of these people claim individually to be the only person to have created it. So even if we do have 16 people, 15 of them have to be lying, which is kind of weird. But like I said before in another video, if you have the chance to be able to create a coin and fork off of something, or say that you created something and pretty much become a billionaire overnight, many people would take that chance and kind of do it. It's just a shame that Craig Wright keeps trying to rear his head into the cryptocurrency space. Kind of is what it is. I feel like, in my opinion, if you were the creator of Bitcoin, you probably discredit yourself by creating something called Satoshi's Vision, because you should pretty much just find a way to lay claim to say, hey, I created Bitcoin, and just kind of show us the transaction from the Genesis block, and yeah, we'd be able to know right off the bat if you're lying or not. But yeah, this is major news. It's floating around once again. There's like 5 new people who are coming out as Satoshi. None of them can prove it, of course, but good luck to them. Let's move on. To kind of finish things off, we're going to breeze through this one. 2 crypto startups want to streamline the process of issuing and trading security tokens by providing an all-in-one solution. Securitize, a Coinbase-backed security token startup, is partnering with OTCXN, which is a blockchain infrastructure company, to develop and offer a digital security offering service. Under the arrangement announced on Tuesday, the 2 companies will help other firms tokenize and sell securities by combining securities compliance platform with the OTCXN custodial ledger system. Not to read any further, just kind of tooting their own horn, and this also isn't me promoting them as I'm not being paid by them, because I do not do that on this channel. The point is that we have there's a huge push right now for people trying to become a security token platform, and what's interesting is that there's not a lot of them, and I feel like this is because you probably have to get tons of paperwork and all that other stuff done to be able to become one. But it seems that the next big thing that we're going to have in the cryptocurrency space is the tokenization of everything. And if you can become one of the first companies to be able to do something like this, and also kind of have your name out there as, yeah, we were the first ones, you're going to, one can assume that you're going to make a lot of money. It just, yeah, like I said, breezing over it, I thought it was interesting simply because you would assume that we would have hundreds of things of news like this every single day, but it's never usually a lot, and they're always typically backed by or have like Coinbase or someone else. The word isn't backing them, like funding them in some sort of way, which leads me to believe that these are probably companies that Coinbase has acquired. And if Coinbase has a security token certificate, whatever you kind of want to call it, that they're allowed to list security tokens, and they are absorbing other companies, then the other companies kind of by default also then have these security token certificates as well under their name. Kind of interesting. It's weird to see the way that the cryptocurrency space is kind of evolving to this securitized platform. To kind of finish things up, the prices aren't doing too bad. Over the last 24 hours and even last hour, everything it's there. XRP is dipping a little bit. I think Bitcoin is kind of going down, like it's a tiny bit, but every other coin, at least altcoins, tend to suffer a little bit more whenever Bitcoin is in the slumps. But what's interesting is that it's holding strong. It's not doing too bad at all. I'm hoping, yeah, like I'm pretty certain. You can even see like the bit of the start of the dip right here. I saw Bitcoin go over 4,000. People think that the price might be consolidating a tiny bit, resting on the side before it starts jumping back up again. It would be a great way to finish out the week if we could have a $4,300 Bitcoin. That would be absolutely fantastic. The point is the market's not doing too bad. Binance coin for some reason is constantly an Olympian. I'm not really sure how this coin keeps doing it. I mean, I understand. Imagine Binance coin's volume when we actually have a bull run. Like, it's just the things they do with that cryptocurrency exchange, and I still wouldn't be surprised if sometime relatively soon, if we end up hearing that there's going to be a Coinbase coin, because I'm pretty sure they've definitely had talks about trying to get into the game as well, because Binance coin is a top 10 coin. If you kind of think about that, it's actually completely insane. Anyway, I think that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever in this crazy world you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. I do appreciate all of your support. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Vlad the Impaler, Gil Boa Snake, Rai, Brady Nields, L. Doug, Arthur Yaku, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Nick Mangialavori, Travis Haynes, Gordon Nikic, Yasha Harari, Anthony Charles, Nick Kanaya, singer, songwriter Mike Savitz, and Zoltar 2. Thank you all very much for your generosity. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.